But Shogun is a team, I mean, for those who've watched Shogun and have looked at the team list, Shogun is the Spain team. It's a national team, but disguised under that Shogun invitational side. So they are very strong, they're very quality. You look at the Spain side, they finished second on the World Rugby 7 series at some point. I think that was last year. And this, to them, is a preparation phase for them to head back onto the HSBC World Rugby 7 series. So quite a lot of quality packed into that Shogun team. Now, the other side that is making, of course, waves trying to challenge for that Robin Kyle Trophy, we have the Kenya Morans. Kenya Morans folks are looking to make sure that they make a name for themselves. The UK Select also, remember, they have a story behind. They're trying to make sure that they put a name for themselves. The program in the UK has really come to a halt in terms of sevens, and here is an opportunity for a bunch of young men who are looking to make a name on the 7 series, of course on the global stage, to make a name right here in Nairobi. Now folks, Kenya Shujaa, they are the defending champions. Transpired yesterday as we build up towards more rugby action your way. Sit back, relax and enjoy. This is coming to you live from the Nyayo National Stadium. And of course, if you can make your way to the Nyayo National Stadium, no better place to spend your Sunday.
And gentlemen, welcome back to the Nyayo National Stadium. It's match day experience. And of course, this is the Safari Sevens 2025. We have guests coming through. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to talk to the players. We must certainly have an opportunity to talk to the people behind the scenes, the people that really work so hard to make sure that we have this tournament. With me here is the CEO Kenya Rugby Union, Bwana Thomas Odundo. Thomas Odundo, welcome to the live stream. This live stream is brought to us and to you guys courtesy of KCB Bank and SportPesa. Thomas Odundo,
yes,
how are you?
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning, Walter, and thanks for having me here.
Lovely, lovely. It's good to have you. We have different perspectives. The game is being played on the pitch. The quality is amazing. But first things first, what does it take to really piece together such a tournament?
Putting together such an event is extremely demanding. The planning starts very early. It starts with the team information, team invitations, getting the team confirmations, and then putting all the logistics in place once the team's confirmed. So, for instance, we'll send out between 30 and 40 invites. We'll get expressions of interest. You've got to follow up on those. You've got to make the commitments to the teams and get their confirmations. Alongside all that, you're putting together the planning for the same team transport from the hotels, from the airport to the hotels. So making sure accommodation is the best possible, and then getting hold of the venue, preparing the venue. So all of that takes quite a bit of time, and there are very many moving parts throughout.
Yeah, speaking of moving parts, Bonatio, we're looking at a corporate angle to this event. We have so many corporates that have lined up to support the Safari Sevens and, of course, the Kenya Rugby Union in making sure that we have this event. What do you have to say in terms of what support that this tournament needs? And also, I mean, besides needing, you do have to give credit to the ones who have already made and supported this event.
The Safari Sevens is the biggest seven-a-side tournament in Africa, outside of the Cape Town Sevens, which is supported by World Rugby and HSBC. So putting together an event that is trying to compete or rival or just be as exciting, it takes quite a bit of muscle, and that's where the corporate support comes in. We've got good support from the government of Kenya through the Sports Fund and the corporates as well who have come on board to support us. Our official airline, Kenya Airways, came through for us big time. We appreciate that. KCB has come through. The Social Health Authority is providing some support as well. So it is key because as I'm saying, the financial resources required just to put everything in place is quite large.
Well, besides you being the CEO of Kenya Rugby, you do also have another cup. You come in from that technical aspect. You've played for the national team. You've coached. let's speak about the quality of rugby on pitch, the quality of the women's, and of course the quality of the men's.
I'll talk first about the women. The women's game has been growing, and I think when we committed to having a women's section in the Safari Sevens, we started off with 4 teams, then 5 teams. Last year we got up to 6, and this year we got up to 8, and it has been a very, very, very competitive field. Women's rugby is the fastest growing sport in the world, and we've got to take advantage of that. Our lionesses are amongst the best in the world, and people actually want to come and compete with them and are very keen to come. The men's competition also has been extremely strong. It's been exciting. We have enjoyed 2 days of rugby so far. Today being the business end, we expect teams to be at their best. They've acclimatized. They're used to the altitude, used to the ground, and they are used to the support that is coming in from the crowd.
Well, Theo, the games are live on TV. The comfort is there for the fans who cannot be able to make their way to the stadium. But we do have Nairobians who are looking for a great time. Speak to the atmosphere and what to expect today in terms of the package we have for the families. Because remember, underage students and young boys and girls have an opportunity. It's free at the gate. And of course, we do have the after party coming through. What exactly can the fan anticipate this afternoon?
Kenyan rugby fans are the best in the world. It is acknowledged. They bring a good vibe and a good atmosphere to the ground. This is our opportunity to watch rugby at home and have that vibe. Children under 12 do come in free, so we're encouraging parents who want to come in. Today's a Sunday. Please come in with your children. We've got a dedicated kiddie zone. The children under 12 will access the kiddie zone 100% free of charge. And then there are those who are also very young at heart. They will have access to the kiddie zone, and they will be able to take part in activities there. There is gaming as well, so they can take advantage of that. For those with the energy, through our sponsors, Tusker, there's an entertainment village, and yeah, we'll stay after the games, and we'll have some fun as well.
Well, speaking of fans, ladies and gentlemen, the fixtures are coming thick and fast your way as we wait for the official kickoff. Now, Theo, finally, actually, I have 2 things for you. Who do you have in terms of your field of play? Who do you see winning the women and, of course, the men's tournament? And then after that, we'll talk about a bit of the Rugby Africa Women's Cup coming up. Give your insights about where we are in terms of that and what to anticipate for.
That's an interesting question, Walter. Who do I see, or who do I want?
I mean, your heart's desires.
I'm Kenyan, but on the men's side, I'll tell you, having come from a very competitive 7th circuit, I think our players are in very good shape, and they have put up their hands, so I'll support them 100%. For the women, I do wish them luck. We lost to Costa Blanca Barbarians last year. Let's turn the tables on them this year.
Well, that has been Theo, ladies and gentlemen. Our first fixture this morning is the ladies. We have the quarters coming through. We have the team from Uganda coming through this morning. We'll have the Kenya Lionesses coming through, the Kenya Cubs coming through that tunnel. And Theo here has told us so much about the Safari Sevens. We've talked about what happens both on and off the pitch. But lastly, before I let Theo leave, Theo, the Rugby Africa Sevens women is coming to Nairobi. Once again, another opportunity to showcase where we are in terms of our rugby pedigree, but most importantly, host the rest of Africa. What do you have to say about it?
We've been given the opportunity to host the Rugby Africa Women's Sevens between November 15th and 16th. We had tried to invite as many African women's sides as well for this event to have it as a dry run. Luckily, we've managed to get 3 of the African sides here, so we hope to see them again next month in Nairobi. And we're looking forward to a good event even then. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the teams are making their way onto the pitch, and we would like to invite you to grab the best seat in the house and enjoy the quarterfinals this morning. Coming to you live, courtesy of KCB Bank and Sport Pesa. Ladies and gentlemen, Safari Sevens match day 3. Enjoy.
Welcome to day 3 of the 27th edition of Safari Sevens, hosted here in Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, at Nyayo National Stadium, which is at the heart of the CBD in Nairobi. We've had a fantastic 2 days. You're joining me here. I'll be your host throughout this business end of the tournament. My name is Elijah Toili. We'll be joined later by Oscar Osir and Walter Orangi, whom you've just seen on screen, giving us the preparations and setting us up for the day. We've had a fantastic 2 days. It has built up from the pool matches. We are getting ourselves into the knockouts, and we start with the women's category. These are the quarterfinals, and first on set will be Uganda taking on Kenya Cubs, who are the second string side for the Kenya Lionesses, second string side for the Kenya national team setup. And these teams are looking to get into the semi-finals. Uganda, both of them had some checkered games yesterday. Uganda looking to get one better into the semi-finals. Kenya Cubs, on the other hand, have players who are looking to get themselves selected in the final Kenya Lionesses squad as we prepare for the Rugby African Sevens Women Tournament that comes up on November 15th to 16th. So all to play for here, and we're looking forward to the kickoff as we wait for that hooter that you've had that will kick us off for these first Cup quarterfinals in the women's category. The defending champions, Costa Blanca, made it through already into the semis, and we are looking forward to another fantastic run today as they try to defend their title against Kenya Lionesses, who were the losing finalists last year. Women's tournament has been on the growth, has been on the up. Uganda have been here several times during the 2010s to the 20 early at the turn of this century. Up to now, they have had a couple of wins, and we are looking forward to see if they can get themselves into that contention for their main cup quarterfinals. Skies are clear, a bit of overcast, the sun is out, it's gonna get warm. Later on, we shall see what happens. We've had a warm 2 days, a bit hot for some of the teams coming from Europe, but all is well in terms of the pitch. The turf has been good for rugby as we see the kickoff that has been taken by Kenya Cubs. Walter Orangi, welcome on set.
Very warm welcome. Thank you so much, Joely, for having me this morning. Well, Cup quarterfinal time here, Uganda taking on the Cubs. The Cubs with the fast foray. An advantage there for being offside, being played. Going down the blind. The Cubs stringing those passes. On the outside there is Nelly Chikombe, well apprehended. Goes back in, Anjeri. Tackle. Opportunity to shift this ball out wide. Numbers on the outside, missing the fast runner. Anjeri goes in. Picking the ball from the base of the rack there. The Ugandans always come out very strongly whenever they play the Kenyans.
Yeah, it's always a derby, this one. Nothing to do with form. It's all about the pride between these two neighbors. And late, of course, Kenya having all the momentum on their sides in the last decade or so. But Uganda trying to make amends. And in this one, you never know how it will turn out. Have the right attitude, apply yourself well, and you go against form and you win this derby.
You have to be on your best. Uganda coming round. They have an open side to work with. Good carry into the tackle there. Kenyans have to roll away. Nobody on the blind side, but tripped accidentally there. Uganda on a break there. Offload back in. Tackle complete. Numbers on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the passes taking that opportunity away from the Ugandans to quickly try and pile pressure on the Kenya Cubs. The Kenya Cubs go in and hold the player up. Lost forward there, and that's the scrum advantage. Scrum to the Uganda Lady Cranes.
Uganda Lady Cranes having a good feel of the ball, having early spells of possession here, long spells of possession, but the passing is curtailing their momentum. Those passes going to deck when they have numbers out wide, making it difficult for them to use possession well. Something that they need to work on, because in the game of sevens, execution and precision is key if you're to get past your defenders. Once you fashion that space, you must take a faster approach to the game. Picking it up on the base and going around the fringes. Uganda still enjoying good spell of possession here, but the Kenya Cubs defense holding strong, peeling off, committing too many numbers, too many bodies on that right side of the Kenya Cubs defense. Uganda should have shifted it to the right where they had more numbers. Again, Kenya Cubs just not looking at the numbers in defense. An attempt to go back for the cut. That intercept, trying to get intercept, missing it, and getting herself a yellow card in the process. Look at that, just went for it, and low threshold here allowed for those kind of mistakes. If you go in, you go all in, knowing that a missed intercept might lead to a sin bin. It's part of just cleaning up the cynical play that had been a problem for many teams over the times. Going into the bin for the next 2 minutes. And Jerry, this might cost her team if Uganda are able to use the numbers well. Swinging out wide. Kenya Cubs scrambling in defense, getting themselves onto that breakdown and turning the ball over. Looks like Arimba, the referee, penalizing Kenya Cubs for not rolling away. Looks like another yellow card. Oh my. Kenya Cubs in serious problems here, down to 5. You see that tackle happened, and then really she didn't have much room to maneuver out of that space, and referee Achando gets herself onto the sin bin. Kenya down to 5. Uganda yet to score. 2 players in the sin bin, and there they do get over the whitewash, scoring against the 5 of Kenya Cubs. It was a quick tap and go while you were watching the replays, and marching over to score the first try. Namabiro lead there, and Uganda hit the front. Kenya have to weather the storm. They have to survive the next 2 minutes, which they'll be playing less special complement of 7. They have to control the pace of this match. They have to keep it tight, rushing off, bumping her legs to the first tackler. They don't have numbers outside, so they have to play around the fringes, keep it tight to ensure that they run down the clock. But another good injection of pace at the 15-meter channel there. Lioness is making progress slowly up the pitch into Uganda's half. Uganda just looking at that as an opportunity, that counteract. This one is isolated, might be a turnover, and indeed it is.
Not enough numbers to support, and a quick tap and go. Uganda taking advantage of this with a clear line break. And Awula Juliet under the post for another try for Uganda. The Uganda ladies making the Cubs pay for playing 5 against 7. as I say so.
And Jerry is back onto the pitch, having served her 2 minutes out.
They're back to 6, but it has been a costly sin bin for the Kenya Cubs. As you see there, just a quick tap and go, appreciating that they do have numbers and cannot be touched in the first 10 meters after the tap. Good spell for Uganda ladies, taking advantage of their superiority in numbers. And Kenya Cubs, as we head towards the halftime with that hooter, will have a lot to work on in the second half. Down by 2 tries. Might have to just ensure they take advantage of this ball, see if they can get themselves. Tap and go. Kenya Cubs doing the right thing here, just trying to get themselves back onto the scoreboard. We are playing into the extra time of the first half, but then knocking it on at the base of that rack. And we go into the halftime break. Uganda leading 12-0, a comfortable lead for the first half. You see that knock on coming in from Kenya Cubs.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back ready for the second half of these second cup quarterfinals in the women's category, featuring Uganda against the second street side for the Kenyans, that is the Kenya Cubs. Uganda held the lead courtesy of 2 yellow cards in the first half that were dished out against Kenya Cubs for infringements in the rack areas. They have the ball in hand, trying to get out of the red zone. Uganda applying pressure on those set pieces, beating the Cubs in their own 22 early on here. And they put their boot to use here, getting into the Uganda's backyard. Boot chase down to recover that ball. They have to let the player to be able to get back on their feet. But the arriving players onto that track, sealing off and denying Kenya Cubs the opportunity to contest for that. Quick tap and go there from Anjeri, one of the players who was seen in the first half. They are just into Uganda's red zone. Loose passes, giving problems in the attack because they are loose passes. Another quick tap and go that looks to be knocked on. Oh wow, Kenya Cubs. That's the second knock-on from the same player in quick succession. As you see there, ball in hand, was knocked on. There was an advantage penalty. Then a quick tap and go. That was a really basic error, basic handling error. Whenever you knock on a restart of a penalty, you just suck momentum out of your teammates, because that was a penalty. Uganda punching through Kenya Cubs defense, pinning her ears, looking at the whitewash, going all the way 10 meters out. Good run there from Uganda's Amoli Lona, Sandra. And Sandra stretches Uganda's lead by another 5 points. She looks really winded. That took all of the air out of her lungs. But Uganda stretched their lead now. It's a healthy lead for them, 17-0. With a conversion to come, but doesn't get to the try line. Scores remain 7-0. Kenya Kenya Cubs, their own worst enemies really. They have had opportunities and they have done basic errors, especially knocking on when you have possession and you have your opponents on the ropes. That was a quick countdown down that channel after bumping through several tacklers. Then offloading to Sandra, who goes all the way to finish it. Quick takeoff there, that restart. Shaky defense there, no structure. And gets nabbed in the Uganda's red zone. Then holds on to the ball. Doesn't release it. Doesn't allow Uganda to contest that track, and it's a seesaw of a match here. Tap and go from every penalty, keeping the tempo high by both teams. Kenya Cubs trying to chase the match. Uganda Cubs trying to get, Uganda ladies trying to get the Kenya Cubs on the wrong foot. Another quick tap and go by Uganda ladies. Picking and going down that channel, the 5-meter channel that was unattended to by the Kenya Cubs. Kenya Cubs really no communication on that breakdown. First thing that you do as a player is to ensure that you cover that side, but Bagala Grace puts down another 5-pointer. Bagala Grace has been good for Uganda ladies. So her yesterday in the pool matches. This time round, trying also to go and convert her own try. It's not successful, but it's a 22-0 lead for Uganda Cubs. Putting down the hammer, laying down the gauntlet as they march into the semi-finals. Uganda Cubs, we have to wait the next round, which will be for them 5th place playoffs. Breaking play here. The referee says go on, but there is a Kenya Cup player being attended to. So referee just giving some time. She gets back to the field of play. So we are good to go. Those defensive setups in the racks, very crucial for teams to just remain alive on the dangers around the field, especially on the shorter side. That requires coordination from the players in that track. Just opened up a door for Uganda ladies, and Grace went in to finish, exploiting that gap. Kenya Cubs, another run of possession with the ball in hand. Coming in for a 3-out, and referee penalizes from coming in from the side, and picked up and go, pinning her ears, pumping through those two tacklers, and another try for Uganda. Adong Susan, really a stalwart for the Uganda ladies. Yesterday in that derby against Kenya Lionesses, losing, but this one beating the second string side. Kenya Cubs on the receiving end of huge score here. These Cup quarterfinals, 29-0, seconds remaining in this match. Good display from the Uganda ladies. They have been vocal about their intentions to get Safari Sevens Women's Main Cup title, take it back across the border to Uganda, and they're going about it well in these Cup quarterfinals. Still early days as you look at the stadium. Yes, to fill up. It's just 20 minutes shy of 9 o'clock East African time here. We expect the crowd to pull in as we get towards the noon. Also as we prepare for the Cup quarterfinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please our list of sponsors. The reason we're here is because they backed us.
The Cubs still barely out of their red zone, really making a meal of the ball and fashioning good opportunities for themselves. But Uganda ladies have been solid on defense, have remained really competitive, and that's a turnover, gripping the ball from, that is Nambagala Grace, and giving Uganda an opportunity to finish this one, coming in on a short line, then pumping through tackles. Uganda making good use of ball in hand. Looking to go out left, shifting it quickly. Big, huge hit on Angakia Comfort, but offloading. They're going to finish this one on a high. Nandudu Janati scoring the final try for Uganda. Big, huge win for them as they prepare themselves for the semi-finals, which they will meet Costa Blanca ladies, the defending champions. Attempted conversion doesn't get to the whitewash.
Yeah, I mean, that result, that result is a massive one. First cup quarterfinal this morning. One would have thought it would have been as close as you'd have expected, but
yeah, there's a gulf in class between the two teams right now. Of course, Kenya Cubs being the second strict side for the Kenyan setup.
but the other question, ideally, is this the Ugandan first set?
Yeah, always a thing about Uganda bringing their development side, but they are also looking, they have an eye on the Rugby Africa Sevens Women's Tournament coming up, so preparing for themselves for that, which will be hosted here in Nairobi from November 15th to 16th. But having said so, we move to the next quarterfinals. That will be between Shogun and Tunisia. On your screen there, Tunisia ladies pumping themselves up for these quarterfinals. They have lost their games yesterday in the pool matches. On a learning curve here, they come up against Shogun ladies, who are quite competitive. Shogun ladies with their only loss so far that came against the defending champions Costa Blanca in the pool decider yesterday, losing that one 17-5. But they are in the cup quarterfinals, looking to get themselves into the semis. That kickoff being knocked on by Tunisia as they tried to recover their own kickoff. Shogun ladies have been very clinical until they came and stuck against Costa Blanca Barbarians. Good putting, shifting it out wide, just out of their 22. Center carrying it into contact. Team is quite compacted towards the left of their attack. They're coming under intense pressure in that rack set piece from Tunisia. Having their defense shooting up, killing space for the ball carriers for the attacking team, and then trying to go for the jackal. Referee, of course, on site there telling them they didn't release the player so that they can recycle possession. Now off, attacking on the 15-meter channel, slowly making their way into Tunisia's territory, but knocking it on, turning over possession to Tunisia. Tunisia trying to get themselves a win in this 27th edition of Safari Sevens. Not rolling away after making the tackle, then getting penalized. Another quick tap and go. Nice breakthrough there as the defenders were trying to sort themselves out for that penalty. And going through for the first try in these quarterfinals, Yamia Mulawa. Really nice. Just tapped and went. Shogun ladies just caught out there, trying to set themselves up, and at the same spot where the retreating defender was, where they attacked. Of course, taking cognizance of the fact that they couldn't catch her. As you see, they are retreating, watching, and that is where they identified the gap to be. Having caused the penalty and retreating into the defense line, just opened up a hole there that was exploited by Yamia Mlawa. Tunisia,
You can see the coach there.
yeah, against all form. Yeah, the coach.
The emotions.
Yeah.
You bind up, go in twos. You know, that's the emotions of the coach. You know, you've trained these guys. You know that they know they can do this.
Yeah.
But then you have those flashes. You know, once you actually allow the players to get onto the pitch, you as a coach, there is no
Nothing
other
you can do. Yeah.
best players will decide the game on pitch. The coach outside here has done all he can. So the emotional roller coaster that you're witnessing, or the fans are witnessing, courtesy of the beautiful pictures coming to you. Production being done by Live Eye, sponsored by KCB Bank, and of course partnered by Sport Pesa. In your picture there, that replay, Shogun looking to draw back, having gone down from that opening try.
Yeah, Tunisia with 2 losses and starting really strongly against Shogun ladies here. I'm quite impressed by how they have taken this game to the Shogun ladies.
Well, like I said, Shogun are select side, right? And a national team like Tunisia would relish an opportunity like this one. So really, it's an opportunity for the players who've been selected by the Tunisian Rugby Federation to actually put a name out there for themselves, but also make sure that, you know, with Africa, we have the Rugby Africa Cup coming up, the women's.
Yeah.
And such opportunities are very rare for you to play international quality. And this one here, you back yourself up one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, Tunisia really doing well. They have been Shogun ladies. It's if you've been following the women's category in these Safari Sevens, most bookers will have Shogun ladies winning this one. But Sevens is a game of momentum, and is Tunisia ladies picking up, or just Shogun ladies are trying to get themselves into the game, this being their first in day 3.
Yeah, this is the first game. I'd like to have a word with the bookies, because at the end of the day, the result will really matter. But nonetheless, you'd expect that a select side from the UK, quality in the name of Shogun, would be a good side, and that is why you give them that opportunity. But here's Tunisia giving as much as they're taking.
Wow, Zahra Hadeji going through, sidestepping the sweeper there. And Tunisia scored their second one, an upset in the offing here. Tunisia finally coming good on their potential. That is a crucial score.
Yeah.
Just putting
Second try.
Yeah.
Right before halftime.
Yeah. The conversion is good, so they stretch it to 12-0. Again, Tunisia playing the brand of rugby that they have wanted to display, the Safari Sevens. Finally, it's coming together for them, getting through the first line of defense and then stepping off the sweeper, and Hadaji going all the way to score second try. Yesterday, though, I noticed that Tunisia ladies were huffing and puffing a lot in the second half.
The altitude, the heat. I mean, we are positioned slightly lower than they are in terms of altitude. And as such, pulling in the big ones wouldn't really phase as the Shogun side goes over for their opener.
I believe that's Amesa Ulibari.
Yeah, really, the Shogun kit,
Yeah,
the
the
numbers are not
numbers.
coming out clearly, and
Yeah.
that has been a struggle over the weekend. But nonetheless, Good run there for Shogun as they hit back. They needed to score at least one before this halftime break just to keep the hope alive. Remember, this is the second Cup quarterfinal match, and here we have the winners proceeding to the Cup semis. Ametsa Ulibari, the try scorer there for the Shogun side. Still more time, and the beauty of sevens, so long as there is time on the clock, you will have an opportunity. If indeed they had taken use of that goal, they would have scored before halftime. But the halftime score, ladies and gentlemen, Tunisia 12, Shogun 7.
Here's how you can easily link your card on the new KCB mobile app. Open your KCB mobile app. Click on Cards. Click on the plus sign to add your card. Click on Link Card. Select the card. Confirm you are about to link the card. Click Link Now. Enter your PIN. You have successfully linked your card. Download the new KCB mobile app today.
Second half of these Cup quarterfinals between Shogun and Tunisia. Tunisia really pinning Shogun ladies in their own half for the better part of the first half, racing off to a 12-0 lead before Shogun with their first visit into Tunisia's half. Good strike rate there, and they scored to get themselves back into contention for this semi-final that comes up for the winners of this knockout. Today is a knockout day. Today is the last day of the Safari Sevens. Today we see the winners being awarded their medals, their trophies, and their honors. Tunisia just guilty there of knocking it on and ceding possession, ceding territory. Shogun ladies who really started so slowly, but this is their third visit into Tunisia's half. They want to make good use of this one. Going in for that scrum. The backline positioning itself well, spread out really all the way to the 15-meter line. And crisp passing is required here, coming in on a short line. Then it was a dummy run. They get to reset, moving quickly, shifting it to their right, shooting up in defense there. Then that has been used well by Shogun ladies, just resetting at the heart of Tunisia's defense, then taking off to the wing there, going to score their second try. Really getting themselves another try there by Elena Kohn.
Elena Kohn getting the second try of this game, leveling up the scores. The Shogun side really had to score fast in the second half to try and see if they can mount pressure, trying to get the Tunisians' lead cut down. An opportunity here now to try and convert. The conversion from out wide is unsuccessful. Shogun 12, Tunisia 12. Coming up next, folks, the next game, ladies and gentlemen, is Kenya Lionesses against Mwamba Select. A kick behind there. Shogun looking to recoup that open ball. Free play there. Targeting that rack area. Tunisia looking for an opportunity to jackal. There is an opportunity here. It's presented itself, and that's a turnover successfully executed by the Tunisians. Tap and go. Players not 10 meters out. The referee playing an advantage. That's a double blast there.
Like a yellow card coming.
Yep, that's a yellow card. 10 meters away is the rightful place to make your tackle. But now here's an opportunity to only 3 and 50 something seconds to go. Scores tied at 6v7, an opportunity here for Tunisia. And the awareness to know that the defense hadn't retreated 10 meters meant that you risked that, the risk of that yellow card. And now 6v7, Tunisia now have to execute. And speaking of execution, they've just fluffed. Yeah, that is Clara Farrell. They've just fluffed that opportunity. And Shogun now
7 versus 6, you have to be patient because you have a real opportunity to just score on that one.
Yeah, there wasn't a hook there. And
yeah, that's the second I have seen in terms of scrum halves not putting in the ball that is hooked, being turned over. Now Shogun just trying to manage that 2 minutes of sin bin. Well, just taking it around the fringes, carrying, picking and going around the fringes. But late in support on your picture there, Clara Farrell is the one who's on the sin bin chair. The next 2 minutes, slightly less than a minute remaining on that one. But they're doing well without her. They have managed the clock. They have picked around the fringes. They have played it close quarter combats. As you see, they are going in. A big hit being dished there by Zara Chetui. Then running down the clock here with this scrum of set piece. Now it's a put-in for Tunisia. They have to ensure this one is hooked. Again, same issue. I think it's a coaching problem here, because same call against Islam Waili. Islam Waili must ensure that the hooker has a foot on that ball as it comes into the scrum down channel. Losing possession twice on the same mistake, not a good look. Again, also the players have to adapt quickly on those calls that are going against them. Shogun ladies still down, but now coming back onto the pitch. Clara Farrell coming just in time to save her team when Tunisia had ball in hand. So back to the full complement of 7. This looks and is shaping itself up for a Navi one last minute.
Yeah,
all tied 12 all.
She's a lucky girl there. They didn't concede when she was in the sin bin. So here is an opportunity for her to actually try and rally the rest of the pack to try and get over the line. Remember, we have 50-something seconds to go. Cup quarterfinal match number 3. All on the line here. Remember, you snooze, you lose. This one decides who goes to the cup semis. One step closer to the final, a gold medal match later on this evening. Penalty awarded there to the Tunisian side. Not close enough to try and go for those 2
those 3 points.
Those 3 points on offer.
Yeah.
But they'll be looking to piece something together. Tapped.
You will think whoever scores next will definitely win it. No time left on the clock. A break there. First line break by Yamia Milawa, who scored the first try. 5 meters out. And then they're coming in for the jackal, and they are successful. Late to support. Yasmin Kobe comes in late to support her.
That is a risk play. I think that is the play of the game, because you go off your feet or you don't come in through the gate, it's a penalty. It's close enough to the hedge, 5 meters out. They tap and go. Probably they take the 3 points. Or you risk going into that track area and then getting the ball. And that is what it is. The risk, the reward.
Very true, Walter.
Execution though. Shogun have an opportunity. Final play here as the hooter sounds. They have to get this line out right. Tunisia have to compete to try and give that offside line. They haven't. They have, yes. But the referee says the gap had been closed, that 1 meter gap. So that means it was an infringement. Shogun have an opportunity here to probably tap and go. Remember, the 7th version of the game, or is it the whole field of play in terms of rugby? The free kick nowadays cannot result into a scramble, so they opt to kick it down. They need to play in the right areas, and there you have it.
Oh wow,
risk reward.
Good return there for Shogun.
Yes.
Gaining 75 meters by that kick, and time is up on the clock. Oh wow, just knocks it on with an overlap, and mean,
And that's a yellow card. The referee there has given marching orders to the Tunisian lady who was in an offside position, I guess.
yeah,
10
that
meters.
quick tap and go.
Yeah, there were no 10 meters. Now, 6v7 here, sevens rugby. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best platform for you to attack. 6v7, 12, all. And of course, this is down to execution.
Yeah, crucial time here. 7 versus 6, attacking to the right. They have one extra player on the pitch, Shogun ladies, and that ball has been ripped to the tackle. And that looks like a big call coming here. Instant yellow card.
That is exactly not how to play sevens rugby. You had an overlap, you had an extra man or lady on the pitch. They just needed to fashion out those chances, create those chances out wide and see what comes out of it. But here is an opportunity handed back to Tunisia, 6v6.
Yeah, I mean a yellow card also for Shogun ladies, so it's 6v6. It's a tight affair. This one, ball kicked out. Tunisia not wanting to risk a mistake in their own 22. They opt to go for the extra sudden death.
I honestly don't understand that decision to kick out. 6v6, you had an opportunity to attack. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, full-time scores. Tunisia 12, Shogun 12. We proceed to sudden death extra time, ladies and gentlemen. The
We are back for the extra time. It is sudden death time. First to score will walk away with this quarterfinal fixture. 5 minutes both ways in case there are no scores. And then we'll go down to the other regulations. If they are still tied after the 5 minutes each half. Tunisia kicking us off there. Both teams down to 6. Meva Desernad for Shogun on a yellow card, and also Yam Lawa for Tunisia on a yellow card. Both players still out. So it's 6v6 here. Shogun attacking, getting into the gap there. Strong carry by Ametsa Ulibari. Then offloads to Issa Prince, who goes. Issa Prince goes to score and put this match to a finish here. Good, fantastic win for the Shogun ladies. Sudden death stuff, this one. No conversions coming through. And Shogun ladies book their ticket into the semi-finals. A hard-fought win. Tunisia turned up finally, playing the brand of rugby that they have wanted. But they lose this one in sudden death. Good show. They will go and contend the 5th playoffs as Shogun ladies move into the semi-finals, where they'll play the winner of the next match coming up, Lioness. So we are into the last quarterfinals in the women's category. This one has our hosts, call them hostess, Kenya Lioness, taking on invitational side Mwamba Select. Mwamba Select here courtesy of being the winners of the National Sevens Kenya circuit. And they had a rough day in office yesterday. So far, losing all their matches. The flip side, Kenya Lioness is winning all their matches. Yesterday, they had a run out against Uganda, the toughest fixture they had so far, 17-5 victory. Now, on offer here is a place in the semi-finals, and quick off the blocks, going for their first try, kick-off try. That is Janet Okello, pinning her ears. The first try there for the Lionesses. want to have a good feel of their structure going through that first try that was straight off the kickoff. Just going through the motions there, that head bobbing and bobbing as she applies the next gears, going all the way to put Kenya Lionesses onto the scoreboard early on here.
Good.
Mwamba ladies have had a torrid time, and they're coming up against a very good Lioness side who are preparing themselves to host the Rugby Africa Sevens Women Tournament that is coming in November 15th to 16th. Book that date and join us to see teams around Africa congregating here for the rugby festival. Knock on there from Mwamba Select. Turning over possession to Kenya Lionesses. Putting it in and taking it out wide to the left. Snyder back. And they're carrying it in slowly there. Edith Nariaka peeling around the 5-meter channel and going to score against her teammates on the club side. Edith Nariaka putting second try there. She's a very pacey winger, very pacey halfback. That conversion not good. So it remains 12-0 in favor of Kenya Lionesses as we wait for the replay there. Peeling off to the left. That ball from Snyder. Snyder attacking the defense line and then putting the ball in front of Edith Nariaka, who just dashes through that space, goes to score. That kickoff restart not going the mandatory 10. Another mistake being done there by the Lionesses. Those are some of the issues that can arise and curtail progress. Immediately after scoring, you turn over possession. Restarts are an opportunity for the attacking team to just get the defense in 6s and 7s, because the formation is never flat on those kickoffs. So it's been identified as a big opportunity for teams to get themselves back onto the scoring board. Good offload there from Mwamba. Going into contact, referee clear for them to release. Then they come back to the left where they have numbers. They need to shift it quickly. It should have carried it forward a bit. Good spell of possession from Mwamba ladies, trying to go up and under, but Snyder was patrolling the backyard, gets that ball, floats quickly to the left there. Faith Livoy, the carry back, cuts back in. Edith Nariaka, the speed merchant, going all the way for her second try, and Lionesses third. That cutback move from Faith, between Faith Livoy and Edith Nariaka releases her into the space vacated by the defender there. Does all of the 70 meters to score. The conversion is good from Maureen Muritu. Familiar with her opponent chasing her down. Another day they will be on the same training grounds, but here there is a semi-finals on offer. Lionesses losing last year's finals against Costa Blanca Barbarians, trying to get themselves back into this one. That ball, I think, should be a line out. It went over the 10-meter mark, so the referee needs the assistance from the assistant referee, because that went beyond the 10-meter mark and come back for the line out. bit of consultation here. We'll listen in and just see.
No, is positive. It's just to if touch or there. Yeah.
The referee of French dialect, bit of longer conversation there as they try to understand each other, but it was a clear call. Ball bounced beyond the 10-meter mark into touch, so it was a line-out throw for Mwamba, who just butchered that line-out and turn over possession to Kenya Lionesses. Ball in hand there, Faith Okech puts it in and swings it out wide. Nice to see Faith Okech coming in, debutant here for the Lionesses. She worked herself into the contention for the selection after a nice outing in the concluded 7th series. Another debutant there will be Marvel Laura.
Cuts. Bind. Sit. Tackle.
Good counteract there from Lionesses, but wonder who gets out with this one. Mwamba do get out. Yeah, we are back for the second half of this last quarterfinal match. Our apologies for that video hitch, the live stream just dropping off a bit there. For a while you are watching replays that were earlier in the first half. But we are back. The kickoff from Kenya Lionesses, and they recover possession, then trying to get themselves back into this game. Mwamba Ladies closing that first half very strongly, though they have nothing to show on board in the scoreboard. but they had enjoyed a good spell of possession.
Play down.
Referee penalizes Kenya Lionesses for holding on as they came under attentions of the Mwamba ladies. Faith Livoy on your picture there as guilty of holding on. Short break in play there to just attend to an injury, but she's good to go. Beatrice Osimbo stepping through there, quick tap and go, and then trying to get themselves some good territory, but they're pinned. Aggressive defense from the Lionesses, pushing Mwamba back closer to their own 22. Referee penalizes them from offside during the earlier tap and go, and they have numbers. Mwamba just going through the faces slowly here. If they are able to just execute it faster, then they will have themselves an opportunity to score. Lionesses discipline showing on defense. Couple of offside calls. That's the third consecutive one. Something for them to work on. In a tighter match, they will be in serious troubles. Now an opportunity to score here. That offload not going to hand, but straightening and going back in. Clarice Mutambi gets down on deck. Mwamba have done well to retain possession. Really nice play against a very strong Kenya Lionesses. Of course, familiarity, they say, breeds contempt. Most of these players knowing each other from the local scene. But nonetheless, Mwamba have done well to actually be able to sustain possession over the last 60 meters. And now, just 7 meters shy of Lionesses' try line, attacking that defensive line very aggressively. 4 meters short, have to, it's been turned over by Snyder Mokaya. Tough times for Mwamba ladies. Chicken wing pass out there to Maureen Muritu, who just goes all the way into touch. Then they come back for that knock-on, for which Snyder Mokaya had the ball, turned over the possession.
Well, the Lionesses here just cruising, I guess. Mwamba haven't really given the Lionesses the scare that you'd really expect them to give. But they've battled well.
Yeah,
the
they
scoreline.
have.
Scoreline is testament.
I mean, the stats are very clear. Mwamba have had a lot of possession in the last 4 minutes or so,
Yeah.
which has put Lionesses' defense under pressure. Lionesses holding on well. Mwamba not just getting the benefit, the returns for that long spell of possession as Snyder puts her boot to use. And now it's a foot race here between Charity Miller. A good use of her kicking skills there to just get Mwamba ladies out of trouble. Charity Miller was breathing down her neck. If she had recovered that ball, it would have been a problem. Quick restart on the line out from Kenya Lionesses, getting Mwamba ladies napping, going off, looking for her first try in this tournament. Going all the way, Faith Okechon debut scores. Northern Suburb ladies debutant to the Kenya Lionesses.
Getting the Kenya Lionesses the match, and in the fourth, she races here to hand.
Coming up there. Totally butchers that one. But healthy lead nonetheless, 24-0 with 3 minutes to go. As we see there, Faith Okech pinning her ears, going, looking for try against her name.
Beautiful photos and images coming through there. The KCB replay. The Lionesses there, courtesy of Okech, getting that 5-pointer. The attempted conversion to Eli.
Yeah, that was some
First game of the day.
Those ones should also get to the highlight reels, right?
Yeah, they should, and I know we have so many people. Speaking of the highlight reel, we have Hamish Kenny from the Champagne Rugby. We'll be having a word with him at the full-time end of this game. Just talk about his involvement and what brings him to Nairobi. And he's been here. He came in last year. Champion Rugby. If you have an opportunity, get onto Instagram. You can see Champion Rugby who've been doing lots and lots of beautiful reels, sharing the game, of course, trying to increase the numbers and the awareness of the Sevens Rugby. Thank you so much for coming through the Champion Rugby team from the UK. We'll be having Hamish Kenny at full time. Now, Lioness is here, looking to keep Mwamba scoreless. Mwamba, Lynette Mara has been playing for the Kenya Lionesses. And now turning out for the Mwamba side, and that's a knock on the referee. So the player was in an offside position. Quickly tap there. Mwamba looking for their first score. Mwamba half numbers on the outside. Mwamba one pass. And the Kenyans are there to defend there strongly.
Yeah, Clarice Mutambi at the 5-meter channel there.
Yeah, the edges there, just trying to see if they can sneak in behind the defensive line through the edge. The pass goes forward there, and the referee allows play to continue. He almost blew that. That's a high tackle. You do know that it's a ladies' game.
Yeah.
Well, Lynette there, unhandled. Is it lady handled?
Yeah, I love the hand gestures and symbols from the referee, you know.
I wasn't sure what the call was, but for you back at home, remember to let us know your feedback through the comment section. We're live on the KCB group page, and of course, coming through on the Sport Pesa page. Let us know what you think about the few moments that we have to laugh about. Enjoy these games. Remember, it's all about having fun on and off the pitch. That is the 27th edition of the Safari Sevens. The Hooter sounds. Mwamba have a big deficit to claw back, but here goes Eunice Obadia.
Eunice Obadia finally getting Mwamba ladies onto the scoreboard, and it's well celebrated there. You can see Lynette Mora and all the players, Caroline Flattekamp, all coming to just hug, scoring against the national side team. Kenya Lionesses is no mean feat. So the game is over, but something for them to celebrate as they move on to the 5th place playoff. This is the last quarterfinal in the women's category, and we are well lined up for the semis, where we will see Costa Blanca taking on. Just having it quickly wrapped up here, Costa Blanca will be taking on Shogun. Sorry, will be taking on Uganda, then Shogun ladies will be taking on Kenya Lionesses in the semi-finals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have with me here Hamish Kenny from Champion Rugby. Hamish Kenny, good morning. Welcome to Safari Sevens.
Thank you very much, Walter. Pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here. As you've said, you were here last year. Welcome back to Nairobi. I'm not sure how you've enjoyed your time so far, but I want to talk to you about Champion Rugby. Of course, you're doing very well. Thank you so much for coming through, because I know your numbers on the socials are really helping elevate the profile of the tournament, but also you can tell the fans who you are with in Kenya this year.
Yeah, so thanks for having us. We came here last year and we had a fantastic time at the Safari Sevens, one of the best tournaments that we've been to. To give a bit of background on what we do, I run a social media channel called Champagne Rugby. We've got about 1.5 million followers across all of our channels and reach about 60 million people per month across those channels. And essentially we travel around the world documenting and showcasing some of the best tournaments in the world. And personally, Safari Sevens is up there with the top 5. So it's been a real pleasure being here. Last year we have a team called the Lions that I think came 5th, and then this year we're following the Shogun teams as well as the UK Select, which have...
Well, you're coming through with the Shogun team. I'd like for you to talk about the composition of the UK Select and the Shogun team. But first things first, comparison between the Machakos Stadium and, of course, the Nyayo National Stadium in terms of quality, the difference, and speak about the teams, the UK Select and, of course, the Shogun side.
Yeah, of course. So, first of all, the stadium's beautiful. It's a lot more convenient not having to travel all the way to Machakos, which was a 2-hour drive from the hotel we're staying at. So that's very much thankful after a long day playing rugby, and I imagine that's also for the players. And then in terms of the facilities, this year it's very well organised, very well put together, and definitely an upgrade from last year. The sides that we're following, let's talk about Shogun first. Shogun's obviously playing down here. You've got a lot of the Spanish internationals that have been playing throughout the 7 series this season. And last season they came second in Dubai, they came third in Cape Town. I think they got second in... No, I think Kenya was second in Singapore, but they had some really good results and did a lot of damage on the circuit. So to be able to see them competing over here in Kenya in this heat against an African style of play in rugby, it's good to test them on this sort of circuit, and the level of rugby has been really high. And then you look at the UK select team, that's a team where they had their funding cut earlier this year from the RFU, and they are essentially here to make a statement. They're here to show the rest of the world that we are here and we want to play rugby. And despite the setbacks, they've come through, they've put together a really strong squad, and you've got some flyers in there like Ryan Apps and Marcus Kershaw that's been on the circuit. You've got up-and-comers like Sam Kildern and some Welsh lads in there, so Lloyd and Ben, and also Ben, that they've been playing for teams like Scimitar and Shogun throughout the season, and now they've got their chance to prove themselves, and they're playing physically. Yesterday, when they played against the Kenya Shuja, it was a very close game, and there was a few moments where the Shuja took advantage of, but they looked dangerous and it could have gone either way. So I think going into the quarterfinals, they're looking strong, and there's potential that they could cause an upset or two.
Well, speaking of Shogun, they are currently on the pitch, and I would like for you to at least give us an insight, sort of a commentary overview as the games continue for the Shogun side. They've just gone over, but you've spoken about Kildern, that name Kildern. I don't know, is there a relationship between Ellie and Sam?
Ellie is Sam's sister.
Ah, lovely. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just listening in, that is Hamish Kenny just telling us what is the Shogun side and, of course, the UK select side. Remember, he draws his abilities from the fact that he's part and parcel of the Champion Rugby crew, the team that makes the socials tick, talking about 60 million views, or is it returns? I would love for you to talk about what social media, the impact of social media in terms of the brand and the images that you are handling, the numbers, and what it means for brands to actually invest specifically in establishments like the Champion Rugby.
Well, traditionally rugby has always been a popular sport across the board in terms of the physicality and the product on the pitch. As we've come into the 21st century, the rise of social media and the rise of telephones and where everyone's spending their time, people are spending less time on the televisions and more time on their phones. So in terms of attention economy and the way in which people consume information, it's much more, the formats in which people consume information has changed dramatically. Oh, there's a nice try there down from the Shogun team, and it just goes to show the handling and ball skills that this team can bring, and when they enter the 22, they're pretty deadly.
Yeah, they are pretty deadly, as Hamish has said there. Remember, this Shogun side has a mix of the Spanish national team. That is something we really need to have a look at, because you look at the quality of play. The Spanish was second, is it, last year on the World Rugby 7 Series?
They came second a few times, yeah.
Yes, they did. And this is an opportunity. I think they've just come under the umbrella of the Shogun side. And this is in preparation for the World Rugby 7 Series. What do you have to say in terms of the influx of the European rugby